Hi everyone. Yeah, thank you all very much. There's been a huge response to the first video that I made, walking through how to set up this um, economy 7 quarts secure timer if you have it for your boiler at home. And I thought I'd do another video just to answer the questions. There've been a lot of questions on, people trying to get clarifications. Maybe in your case it's not working in the exact same way as it should. So I just wanted to use this video to clarify that and to say thank you to all of you who dropped a comment on the other video. I appreciate that. If you are watching this video and you haven't seen the previous one, I'll advise you go watch the first one where I walked through how to set this up. This one is basically to answer questions, follow-up questions from that video. And one, if I can remember correctly, some of the questions were like, when I tune this, what time of the night should it come on, or what time of the night should it come off? So, to clarify, what you do when you set this is just to set the clock correctly. The actual programming for when it comes on and when it goes off is done inside the box. So, for instance, it is tuned to come on at 4 a.m. winter time and go off at 7 a.m. Winter time. And then maybe for summertime it might go on at 3 a.m. and go off at 6 a.m. depending on how the electrician or technician has configured it within the box. So if you set this correctly, and when I say set this correctly, set the time correctly, the way I walked through on the first video, and it's not working as it should, I would recommend you contact the an electrician through your a building agent or whoever is in charge of the building. It might be that they need to configure this correctly. There are several areas where the boiler could be faulty. It could be on the rings, it could be on the thermostat. So I would advise you do that. Um, and a lot of times that would solve the problem. But aside that, like I mentioned, most times it is configured to come in either around 4 a.m. in the morning and go off at 7 a.m. And when it does that, I remember there was a question to say when it boils at that time of the day in the morning, does the hot water stay all day? I'd like to clarify that technically it should stay warm for a good part of the day, depending on how you use it. So if it's, three people in the house, four people in the house, depending on how much it is used, it might finish quicker. But you should have warm water or hot water for a good part of the day, even until evening most times. But like I said, depending on the usage. So if yours finishes, if the hot water gets cold after like an hour or two, that is definitely an abnormal situation and you can't do anything from here. You need to contact an electrician to resolve that. Um, yeah, I think those two areas were most of the concerns that people had, and I hope that I've been able to clarify them. And just to reiterate, what you're setting here is the time, and it is the time at the moment when you're setting it. So, like right now, the time is 5:26 or 5 p.m. In the evening. So if I was setting this to, if this was summertime, I would set it to 17, which is 5 p.m. This is a 24-hour clock. So set it to 17, which is 5 p.m. on the summertime line here. So make sure 17 is pointing directly to this line. And that is all you need to do. If this was winter time, I will set it the 17 to come under the line for winter time here. Come under the line for winter time here. I hope you can see that correctly. There's a line for winter time and there's a line for summertime. So just set it based on the time when you are doing it. It's not, I know I used 12 midnight in the last video. So some people were asking, do I have to do it at 12 midnight? No, you just use the time when you are doing it. Set this with the time. It's like setting a clock in your house to the correct time. That's what you're doing here. And this is a 24-hour clock. So at the moment it's 5 p.m. So you see 17 is right on the summertime. If it was winter time, you set 17 right on the winter time. Um, yeah, aside that, this is the main place of confusion. This one turns it off and on, and this one is for the boost. This boost, heats it up for 1 hour. If you tune it from 60 minutes here, it would heat up until zero and shut it off. But that just gives you quick heat. And even when you do the boost, it should, if the boiler is working correctly, it should keep the heat for almost the entire day, depending on usage, like I said. So if it's not working properly, like I mentioned, you need to contact an electrician or the building agent to say that something might be wrong, with your boiler. And just to show you more detail, I have a boiler here, and sometimes, there could be a fault on this point of the boiler, this ring here, and there's two of them here. These are like the heating points, and these heating elements might be faulty. So these are the other points where the electrician might work on. Like for mine, when it wasn't working properly, they had to change the heating element here, and that's when this boiler part started working properly. So I hope I've answered the questions that were raised. Feel free to drop a comment on this video if there are any other questions. I will be happy to give clarification to that. Thank you all very much. I appreciate all the comments. Take care.